and welcome to mBan 2023, Ireland's international stage race for women. And what a week we had, with 2 Irish stage victories where the Irish riders really put it up to the international opposition. The Dutch and British teams particularly strong, in a week where the sun shone and the racing was some of the fastest ever seen on Irish roads.
I'm really looking forward to it. I'm feeling really proud to be in the green jersey, especially at like the biggest race for women in Ireland this week. So yeah, we're so lucky. The weather is looking really good, and yeah, it'll be a great few days of racing.
I think the atmosphere, just the atmosphere, like the nature, it just feels really friendly, and really supportive as well. So yeah, and hopefully what's special this year isn't rain.
And it was blazing hot sunshine for the riders, numbering almost 100, 20 teams of 5 assembling in front of Kilkenny Castle for the ceremonial send-off in the 17th edition of mBan. Squads from all over the world enjoying the Indian summer and looking forward to 74 kilometres from Kilkenny to Callan, including a 13-kilometre finishing circuit to be negotiated twice and just one Queen of the Mountains classification climb along the way. Pace kept high in the early stages by the Das Hansling squad, clearly motivated to do something this week, but it was Dutchwoman Manon de Boer who took the first climb of the week, and just afterwards a nasty crash inconveniencing many riders, including Erin Crichton of Team Ireland. Her teammate Lucy Benazet-Mins also affected by that one. Mia Griffin safely in the group, and Manon de Boer of the NWVG squad with a rider on the front. And a significant move from Anna Maria Lipp of New Zealand, guesting with the TC Racing squad. That one neutralised, and not surprisingly, as would become the pattern of the week, the Team Boompod squad showing on the front or off the front frequently. Shan Marsh setting a searing tempo through Callan for the first of 3 passages. Still a large group involved after the climb of Curragán. The sprinter squads pretty keen to keep this one as tightly controlled as possible. Aoife O'Brien of Team Ireland, their sister Caoimhe, fine sprinter. Would it be for O'Brien or would it be for Mia Griffin? Down into the closing stages, the Das Hansling squad were on the front of the peloton, but into the final turn, Ellen McDermott of Team Boompods first into that final bend. Her fellow countrywoman Mia Griffin charging around the outside for Team Ireland and blasting across the line to take a famous victory. The first ever win for Kilkenny in mBan.
Yeah, it feels quite crazy because these are all my home roads, so like I'd be riding on these a lot, and it just feels like so cool to race a home race, because it's not often you get to race in a bunch of 100 girls like in your home county. It's really amazing. I think it's my favourite race, and it always will be my favourite race. I think from when I started cycling, it was one of my first races, and it was one of the races that sparked my love of cycling. So for me, the Ross, will always be up there as my favourite race.
So Team Ireland take the first stage for the second year in succession. This time Mia Griffin getting up for glory ahead of Pauline Coster, Emma Jeffers, Hoagland, Lenihan and McDermott make it 3 Irish in the top 6. Griffin with the overall race lead and the lead of the points early on. De Boer heading the mountains, Jeffers young rider, and Marine Lennon best Irish rider.
It was the plan to go for the Queen of the Mountain, and my position was good, and then I was the first at the line. Hills like yesterday and today, I think it suits me very well. My specialty is the time trial, but the time trial here is very short.
Slightly longer run for the riders on stage 2. 101 kilometres, 3 classified climbs along the way as the riders made their way from Hoban Hotel in Kilkenny to the Rower. One long loop, twice up the finishing climb. The additional climb of Copana, set to be a grippy one for the peloton as they made their way out of Kilkenny. Jenny Hall of Team Alba Development with the first significant attack. The defending champions keen to stamp their mark on this year's Ross Na Mán. Manon de Boer in the Wicklow 200 Queen of the Mountains jersey was alive to the danger and keen to see if she could get up the road through the scenic village of Kells in South Kilkenny, and it wasn't long before the next attack appeared from the bunch, and it was Charlotte Hodgkins-Byrne of Team Boom Pods, the rower, the Olympian from the United Kingdom. The main peloton behind, slipping well over a minute behind this rider, who somewhat appropriately would be the first to arrive in the village of the rower. Setting a searing tempo, and delighted to take those Queen of the Mountains points. 26-year-old, her advantage much reduced by the time she made it into the Rower. Behind, the battle for points was enjoyed by the fans at the side of the road. Manon de Boer adding to her points total. Main peloton still large in number. 25 riders still in contention at the front. Maureen Lenihan, the best Irish rider, prominent towards the head of the peloton. Not so many riders in contention in the finishing sprint at the top of the 2.2 kilometre climb, with Manon de Boer leading it out in the orange of the Queen of the Mountains classification. But it was Tiffany Keith from Hutchinson Brother UK, the rider from South Africa, that charged clear to take a glorious stage success.
Just over 200 to go, someone went, and so I followed them, and I saw they started to die off a little, and so I decided, okay, this is my chance. If I have to go now, it's now or never, and yeah, went for it and managed to hang on for the end, but it was a hard effort, that's for sure.
So glory for the rider from Stellenbosch in South Africa as Tiffany Keith takes the stage honours. Most of the jerseys passed around, just Manon de Boer retaining the Queen of the Mountains classification. Her teammate Rikst Hoagland moving into the magenta of overall race leadership. Keeps glorious victory ahead of Noe Jansen, Manon de Boer and Rikst Hoagland. Ruby Oakes and Rene van Hout also sprinting well at the top of the climb. Hoagland now in the overall race lead by the narrowest of margin on countback of finishing positions.
Well, it's nice to ride as a leader in this race. So I was already here last year, and yeah, it was a nice race. So we came here to show ourselves. We try to keep the jersey. I think it will be, well, quite easy till the climb. Yeah, I hope it will be a small group after the climb, and then we can go to the finish.
The race moved to County Laois for stage 3, racing out of Portlaoise and heading up over the highest climb of the week, the Category 1 Assault on the Cut, and then twice into Mount Rath, a long finishing loop of 39 mainly flat kilometres. It's a stage characterised by one major climb, and the attacks were pretty intense right from the very start of the stage. The first major effort coming from Jayati Hine of Team Boom Pods, drawing a group clear, including Irish time trial champion Kelly Murphy. But their advantage was short-lived. Still a large group involved on the approach to the big climb, and plenty of fans out to enjoy the sights and scenes on a really hot day of racing. Up and onto the cut, and the Hutchinson UK squad trying to control the tempo. Linda Kelly now in the best Irish rider classification jersey, close to the head of affairs. And up to the top of the climb, none other than Manon de Boer, who managed to take top points just ahead of Linda Kelly. rubber stamp her situation at the head of the Wicklow 200 IBCA Queen of the Mountains classification. Plunging down the other side, Riggs Toglan still managing to maintain a watching brief close to the head of a lead group, which was swelling in size as the race went on. The chase group behind, less than 2 minutes, and pressing on to try and get back into contention. And by the time they came down into the closing stages, the lead group had swelled back up to almost 60 riders coming into Mount Rath. It was a large group sprinting for glory and jockeying for position. Mary Wilkinson of Team Boom Pods coming to grief, unfortunately having to retire for the race. But Team Das Hansling well to the fore in the sprint for honours, and Emma Jeffers getting up for a wonderful success. A 1-2 finish ahead of her teammate Monica Greenwood.
It was pretty chaotic, teams everywhere, just finding the right wheel, and it was nice to be in the top spot and have a teammate in second. Yeah, our plan just went perfectly, and yeah, it worked good.
Great stage victory for Jeffers, and Tiffany Keefe's consistency moved her into the overall race lead.
It was a great day out. I was really happy to manage to just squeeze onto the podium. Yeah, I was really stoked with it. I guess go full gas tomorrow.
So a superb 1-2 finish for Das Hansling, with Jeffers ahead of Greenwood. Keep, Janssen, McDermott and Costner all well to the fore. Keep led points and overall. De Boer in the mountains classification. Van Hout, Kelly and Jeffers also wearing jerseys.
It was spectacular to see the children of County Laois out in force to support Emma Jeffers secure her win in Mount Rath. And after the break, we'll see how the riders got on in the brand new stage in Tramore and the race deciding final 2 stages in Kilkenny City. Welcome back to the highlights of mBan 2023. Tiffany Keefe held the narrowest of leads approaching day 4, an epic adventure from Tramore through County Waterford and along the Copper Coast.
I think today is probably going to be the key day of the week. It's a really, really hard stage. I know these roads very well, particularly the last 20-30k, so my feeling is the race could be turned upside down today.
It's very rolly. Like, I wouldn't say major hills, but like it is rolly. It's very, especially the way back, it's very up and down. So it'll be interesting to see, like, will there be a break, or will there be still one big group towards the end, like.
This was the stage they were all afraid of, the 102.7 kilometre haul from Tramore over 3 classified climbs down to Dungarvan, back across the Copper Coast Road. It's a bit of a sawtooth profile and a brisk start to the day. Attacks aplenty. First significant ones coming from Francesca Hall and Catherine Sheridan from Das Hansling and Hutchinson Brother UK respectively. By the time they came to the first climb of the day, though, it was Manon de Boer ahead of Linda Kelly. Familiar positions for the riders, and that would be enough to secure the win in the Queen of the Mountains classification for de Boer, as Linda Kelly continued to press on the pedals, encouraging Nor Decker of Jeg DJR and Team Boom Pods. Ellen McDermott also keen to get up the road. And all of that early activity whittling the group down. The Jersey classification leaders well to the fore. Tiffany Keefe staying in contention as close to the head of affairs as possible. Group of no more than 30 riders assembling in the early stages. The overall race leader looking anxiously over his shoulder, encouraging others to ride through and no one shirking their responsibilities. By the time they made it back to the Copper Coast Road after Dungarvan, well, the legs were starting to feel a little bit tender. Manon de Boer, that orange jersey of Queen of the Mountains, already secured, and she could turn her attention perhaps to the hunt for stage honours. Up Rathanure Hill, and Linda Kelly attacking for the Queen of the Mountains points, attacking too, I suspect, to try and draw a group clear. And Kelly Murphy, the Irish time trial champion, a world-class pursuiter, really finding the relentless nature of the climbing on the Copper Coast Road. Alison Marugel of TC Racing, Maeve Gallagher of UCD also trying their luck to try and stretch clear. Noah Janssen, Grace Lister also clear for a short while before Monica Greenwood made a sustained bid for the stage victory, and Manon de Boer, just one of countless attacks during what was a long and sustained fight throughout the 102 kilometres, but the group neutralising all efforts. And down towards Tremor at the end of a long day of racing, Renee Van Hout, the under-23 classification leader, the Sport Ireland supported classification, and her effort off the front relatively short-lived. The sprinters teams keen to try and keep it together all the way down to the conclusion of the event, and Renee Van Hout onto the front to try and set the tempo, but Team Ireland lurking in the wheels, and Mia Griffin poking her nose out into the wind on the seafront in Tremor and blasting across the line to the delight of the home crowd. A second victory of the week.
That stage today was crazy. It was a really hard stage, like the whole way. There was lots of attacks, and like I was dying going up some of the climbs because people were really gassing them super hard, and it was just brilliant teamwork today. I couldn't ask for a better team. We wanted a hard race, and that's what we got.
So Griffin's glory and Rix Toglin's consistency means she moved back into the overall race lead.
We wanted to see if we can make a difference in the GC today, because the time trial is very short tomorrow. But yeah, it was a sprint, so now we have to go full out tomorrow, and we will see how it goes.
Griffin sprints to glory ahead of Manon de Boer and Monica Greenwood, Rix Togland, Caoimhe O'Brien and Pauline Costa reigning at the top six. So Rix Togland had moved back into the lead of both the points classifications and overall general classification, and de Boer having secured the mountains. After 4 days of hectic road racing, 6 riders remained level on time at the head of general classification, with a technical 2.5 kilometre time trial around Kilkenny Castle set to finally split the riders. A short test on flat, narrow, twisting roads offered a high risk-reward ratio, with the ultimate prize on offer to help break the GC deadlock. First rider off in the relative cool of the morning was Nevo Dwyer from Cycling Munster, as the big names worked through their warm-up routines. Jenny Hull from Team Albert Development set a challenging benchmark time, which was narrowly beaten by Mia Griffin, but her time in the hot seat was short-lived, as Beth Harley-Jepson of Team Jaden went to the top of the timesheets. All eyes were on the final 6 riders into action. A strong contribution from Linda Kelly moved her to second fastest, but would it turn out to be enough to move the Wexford rider up overall? Renee Van Hout then went fastest for Team North Holland, with 3 strong fellow countrywomen to come. Following her directly into action was pre-stage favourite and Dutch TT champion Manon de Boer, who blasted around the castle walls to fastest time, 2.39 seconds faster than Van Hout. Noah Janssen went close, just 2.62 seconds behind de Boer, and then Tiffany Keith, an agonising 2.4 seconds shy of glory, but heading for a top 3 on the stage and the overall. NWVG U+ rider Rix Toglan carried the magenta of race leader into battle, 2.5 kilometres between herself and further glory. It was a brave effort and good enough for 7th fastest, but 6 seconds down on her teammate de Boer. The Battle of Kilkenny Castle went to NWVG U+, and Hoagland could at least celebrate handing the race lead over to her teammate ahead of the final stage. A small but emphatic stage success for Manon de Boer, her first in Ross Naman, as she takes the win by 2.39 seconds from Van Hout, Keep, Janssen, Jepson and Greenwood. So de Boer moved into the overall race lead ahead of the final stage, Hoagland holding on to the points lead, with Van Hout and Kelly also in jerseys. So to the final stage, and the riders assembled in front of Kilkenny Castle for the fastest bunch stage of the week around the 2.1 kilometre triangle that is the familiar Criterium circuit in Kilkenny. 3 sharp bends, including the final turn. quite demanding. And a sprinkle of rain just before the start certainly got the rider's attention. In the early stages, as she had done so many times during the week, Alison Mrugel from TC Racing out of Pennsylvania going for the early attack. That was neutralised in time for Caoimhe O'Brien to take the first of 2 intermediate sprints along the way. The Team Ireland rider showing her sprint prowess, stretching the peloton thin, making plenty of riders suffer towards the back, and indeed her teammate Mia Griffin coming to grief. Pre-stage favourite, 2 stage wins during the week, but Mia Griffin fighting a rearguard action back on her bike and heading towards the pits. Griffin on a spare bike, and as the riders came through to complete and heading towards the second intermediate sprint, Lucy Lee, second in this stage last year, taking the money on that occasion. Griffin in the pits, waiting to take her place back after the lap out that's allowed in the regulations. Final saddle adjustments mean Griffin reduced to chasing once more. Sustained push from the Kilkenny native and the Team Ireland star, working her way back into the peloton. Just in time for Team Boom Pods to go on the attack once more. It's been the story of the week. Izzy Mays of the Shibden Hope Technology squad was next to attack. Powerful looking effort, gaining a few seconds advantage, but not for long. Next on the attack, Catherine Sheridan, joined by Monica Greenwood. Dangerous looking effort. And the NWVG and Team Ireland squads assembling at the front, mindful of the danger. And Beth Harley-Jepson joining the duo up front. Short-lived attack. Sheridan back in the fold and back on the front. Down to the closing moments of the final stage, and it's the Team Nord Holland squad which assembled at the front. Elsie Decker, the head of the lead-out train. Renee Van Hout also assisting their sprinter, Pauline Koster, who charged out of the final bend. Several bike lengths advantage. Caoimhe O'Brien getting up for second, but no one denying the Dutch rider, Pauline Koster. After just so many attempts at glory, finally delivering stage success.
I'm a sprinter and I like rhythms, and 2 years ago I'm here second, and it feels amazing. The whole week I focused on this goal and I won it.
Prizes too for Maeve Gallagher, the best young Irish rider, her UCD teammates joining her as best Irish team, the NWVG U+ squad best team of the week, and Linda Kelly retaining that best Irish rider jersey. Renee Van Hout, the best under-23 rider in the race, and Manon de Boer with much to celebrate. Wicklow 200 Queen of the Mountains, her teammate Rix Togland winning the points, and Manon de Boer winning Magenta, the overall winner of Roscommon.
So I'm so happy. All the days I felt so good, and yeah, I'm happy to take it in the time trial and keep it at the last stage. I was here last year as well, and it was very hard. Yeah, we had better weather and I improved a lot, so wow, yeah, it's a dream.
So Pauline Koster gets up for victory on the final stage ahead of Caoimhe O'Brien and Ella McDermott. Emma Jeffers, Rix Togland and Tiffany Keep round out the top 6. 2 jerseys for de Boer, 3 for NWVGU+, Van Hout, Kelly and Koster also celebrating.
Well done to Manon de Boer for securing the first win for the Netherlands in 16 years and what was one of the sunniest editions yet of Roscommon. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Slán Tamil.